Matt Randall here again, back with another Randall production. Today we're talking about in-ear earphones. Now these can range anything from say $15 up to $100, but you can pay up to $1,500 for a set of in-ear earphones. Now unless you're a touring musician who does this for a living, those are probably going to be outside your budget. So we're going to look at today my top 4 budget in-ear earphones specifically designed for use as in-ear monitors. Alright guys, it's 2017. Floor wedges are out. In-ear monitors are in. And if you're here looking for your first set of in-ear earphones to use, then let me give you 4 budget options to get you started. Now in reality, you can use really anything as an in-ear earphone. You can use these, the Apple earbuds that come with your iPhone. You can use whatever came with your smartphone. You can use big cans if you like, but specifically when we talk about earphones designed to be used as in-ear monitors, we're talking about earphones that go in the ear, they wrap around the ear and go down the back. Now the first set I want to introduce you to today is the set I started out with. Now these are by a company called ME Electronics, and they are the M6 series of sport headphones. Now in reality, a sport in-ear earphone and a monitoring in-ear earphone are very similar. They're basically designed to wrap around the ear and stay in tight when you're running, when you're jogging, when you're at the gym, whatever. But that's exactly the criteria that we're looking for in terms of on-stage in-ear monitoring. So these are really nice because they have clear cables, so they're hidden on stage. They wrap around the ear with this wire here and fit in like so. And they sit comfortably in the ear. Of course, you wear them like that and you can hardly tell that they're in. In terms of size, they're small. They are very, very thin. So they're not super bassy because there's nothing there. There's no space for sound to reverberate inside them. The wireframe does wrap nicely. They come with plenty of earbud options. Now, when I started out with these, I recommended everybody use these little Christmas tree shaped earbuds. I've completely changed my mind about these in recent times, and now I absolutely recommend using the little round ones. In fact, not the little round ones, get the biggest round bud like this you can get. The key to making any set of in-ear earphones like this work is a tight seal. You want to seal around the ear. That's why guys pay so much money to get custom molds made for the ear. And after months of back and forth, the Christmas trees, they're out. These little round ones are what you need. Now these come with all these options, so if you still like the Christmas tree ones, if they work better for you, be my guest. If they also come in multiple sizes, so no matter what size or shape your ear is, there should be a bud that fits you. Just make sure it's tight. Make sure there's nothing, it can't move around, it doesn't rattle around. Make sure there's a clear seal, and you'll get superior audio from this as opposed to having it just sit loosely in the ear. Now these also come with a nice protective sleeve where you can chuck all this in, zip it away, and you're good to go. No problems. Now in terms of how they actually sound, well, because they're so small, there's not a lot of low-end response that come out of these. There's not a lot of crystal clear high-end. They're very mid-range focused. But if you don't get the right bud on, I can't stress how important it is to get the right size bud for your ear on. If you don't get the right one, they will sound like mud. So make sure you get the right earbud on, and then these do the job just fine. If you're just wanting to run a click track into your ear, or if you're just wanting to maybe monitor yourself a little bit better, these are awesome. And the other reason they're super awesome is they're about 12 bucks. Maybe 15 bucks. I've seen them on sale on Amazon for as low as $9. You can't really go wrong for $9. Get a pair, check them out, see for yourself. If you want to take it a little bit further and just monitoring yourself or getting a click in your ear isn't enough and you want to monitor more of the band and what's going on around, then take a step up from the M6s to the M6 Pros. Now these are a lot more expensive though, unfortunately. These are going to run you about $50 right now on Amazon, but these are just better. They really are. Now they've got a couple of key features which make them stand out. First of all, look at the size of the speaker compared to the M6 set. It's significantly bigger, so they carry a lot more low end. They also have detachable cables. So the cable comes off. If you damage the cable, you don't damage your earpiece itself. They still come with the same set of different earbud options. Again, with these ones, my recommended earbud is the little round one, or the big little round one, not the Christmas tree that comes with them. These also are clear cables, so they're really nice. They wrap around the ear with the same wire mesh, fit in the ear, wrap around, and they fit nice. They actually fit, I think, because the speaker itself is a bit bigger. It fits a bit snugger in the ear. The M6 set, the non-Pro set, they're so small that they almost feel like it doesn't belong in there. The Pro set feels much better in the ear. I also think the wire that wraps around the ear is much tighter. Now they also come with a nice carry case, a bigger carry case as well, but inside that carry case there's a few extra options. There's a second cable. Okay, so if you ever damage this cable, you do have a second one. But this is a slightly different cable. This cable is just a stereo cable. This is a stereo cable with a microphone on it. So you could use these as your everyday earphones for your phone. The M6 set, that's not an option. They also don't have replaceable ends, so that cable is stuck on there. There's also a nice array of different sizes of earbuds to try out. There's an adapter to convert it from 3.5 up to 1/4 inch. So if your in-ear monitoring solution that you plug into needs a 1/4 inch, they've got you covered. Now another key difference between the M6 Sport and the Pro set is they come now with this set of Comply earbuds, which are memory foam earphones. They come with one pair, so you can try them out and see for yourself. They're completely different to the silicone rubber that comes with these. Now personally, I'm not a fan of these, but I do know people who swear by them. And these on their own, this is a $17 earbud. For $17 on Amazon, you can get a set of 3 of these. So they throw in one of these, so that may offset some of the cost. Now what I find with the memory foam, the reason I don't like them so much is because I find to get that seal in, you have to push them in tight enough, but they don't expand back out fast enough. So they're in, that's where I want them, but by the time the foam has expanded out, they've slipped back out again. So I'm forever pushing them back in because the seal is just not right. But that may just be a thing for me. You might have no problem with it. And the fact that this comes with a set for you to try out is definitely a bonus. So if you can afford to step up to the Pro set over the Sport set, absolutely do it. I have switched everybody I provided with the Sport sets over to the Pro sets in recent times, and I've had nothing but good feedback. But how do they sound? Well, compared to the Sport set, because they're a lot bigger, there's a lot more bass. They carry a lot more bass. The mid-range and the top end are about the same, but they're still not what you'd use for reference monitors. You wouldn't use them in a studio as reference monitors, but live, they're a significant step up over the Sport set. Next up is one of my personal favorite sets, the Shure SE215. Now, I've used these personally for about the last 3 years, and they are absolutely my favorite in-ear monitors I've ever used. Now, features-wise, they are very similar to the M6 Pro set. They have detachable cables. They have plenty of earbud options that come with them. They also come with the Comply memory foam earphones, which is what I used for about half a year. This is how I know what it's like to stick them in your ear and push and push and push until they stay in. So you can see I've since switched back to the silicone earbuds, the big round one. Now, just like the others, they have the memory wire, which wraps around the ear and in. And for me personally, these are by far the best fitting, the most comfortable to wear. They sit extremely nicely in the ear. Now, comparing the size of the speaker itself to the M6 Pro, there's a big jump. Now, these therefore have a lot more bass. They have a lot more bottom end. They're not crystal clear on the top. There's still something lacking. The speaker that's in there really seems to me to be tuned for low-end, mid-range frequencies, but they sound superior by far to the M6 Pros. Again, if you get the wrong earbuds on there, if you use a silicon round one that's too small, they're not going to sound great. But with the right one, with the right fit in your ear, they sound excellent. Again, I wouldn't use these as studio reference monitors, but for live audio, if you want to step up and put more than just a click in your ear, this is going to make a big difference over the Sport for sure, and even a big difference over the Pro set. They do come in a very nice little case, similar to the M6 Pro, and inside there's also a adapter to take it from this little 3.5 mil jack into a 1/4 inch jack. Plenty of earbud options. In fact, they come with multiple sets of memory foam earbuds, and plenty of little silicon round ones as well, if that's your thing. Another key difference, another key benefit of the Shure one is the length of the cable, the length of the headphone itself. I have it next to the M6 Pro cable, and as you can see, the M6 Pro is about 1/2 foot shorter. Now I know that's not a significant length, but sometimes just having this extra piece makes a huge difference when you consider you have to wrap it around your ears, down your back, potentially through something else, through a shirt button. I don't know how you wear them, but sometimes just that little bit extra can make a big difference. And the last difference I want to touch on with the Shure set is their noise cancelling ability. Now they all are, well, at least claim to be noise cancelling, and really their noise cancelling ability comes down to just how tight of a seal you can get in your ear. For me, I can get a significantly tighter seal with the Shures than any of the others, and that means when they're in the ear, I can hear very, very little. In fact, we have a lot of problems on stage when we're practicing. We're trying to communicate to each other because when we're wearing them like this, I can't hear what he's saying right here. Now, as far as sound quality goes, again, as I mentioned earlier, they're really bass heavy, but they do cover a much broader range of frequencies than the other two. So definitely check these out. Of course, all these advantages come at a cost. Now these are going to run you about $100 on Amazon. So that's a big step up. That really puts them sort of in the top bracket of entry-level in-ear monitors. Now, in planning to make this video, this is where I was going to end it. But then I came across these. Now this is the Technica ATH IM70 set. Now what drew me to these was the fact that they're still around $100, so they're very similar in price to the Shure set. But they're dual drivers. All of these ones we've looked at today are single drivers, meaning there's a single speaker in each earpiece. The Technica ones are dual speakers. When we talk about $800, $900, $1,000, $1,500 in-ear monitors, we're talking quad drivers, 4 speakers. So the amount of speakers in here directly impacts how expensive they are. So dual drivers, 2 speakers, for the same price as single drivers, definitely got my intrigue up. Of course, that means because there's 2 speakers in there, they're going to be bigger. And if you compare them side by side with the Shure set, well, they're significantly bigger. Feature-wise, they are pretty similar. They have detachable cables, they have wire wraparound just like the others, and let me just add to that, the wire wraparound on the Technica set is by far my favorite. I can get it right down to some tiny little circle like that, and it doesn't fall back. Even the Shure set, which has a great memory wire, still pops up. It doesn't hold its place exactly. Look at that, it hasn't moved. That means they wrap around the ear really nicely, and whatever position I put them in, the memory wire stays perfect. But because that speaker is so big, look how far outside my ear they stick. And to me, there's something in my head that says because they stick out so far, they're not in properly. So I do find myself pushing them in. So yeah, detachable cables, dual drivers, plenty of earbud options as well. They also come with multiple round ones, and they too come with the Comply set of earbuds. And once I'd found the right earbud for me, which again always seems to be this little round silicone one, they're awesome. They sound great. They're super bassy, great in the low, pretty nice in the mids, and the top is there. The top is never going to be great, super great with any of these with one single driver in them. Even with the two drivers in them, they're not super great. They're definitely comparable with the Shure set, and I would even go as far to say they do sound better than the Shure set. Ultimately though, there's a couple of problems I have with these. For one, they seem very plasticky. I mean, they don't feel like they're made that well. The cable, it just seems really flimsy. It's very, very thin. You've got the stereo cable exposed basically and joined together. So there's two separate wires glued together. In the Shure set, there's one solid cable which is shielded as well. The 3.5mm plug is also very, very small when you compare it against the Shure plug. That Shure plug looks like it's never ever gonna break. This looks like it's just about to break. And one of the features I mentioned earlier about the Shure set, which I like so much, was the length of the cable. Well, the Audio Technica cable is even shorter again than the M6 Pro cable. It's a tiny cable. Now when I've used this live, I've struggled. It's tight to get them around the ears, down your back, and to the guitar that I used where the cable is plugged in. It's stretched. There is maybe this much give in it. There's not much play in it at all. So that is an unfortunate side effect. And another area where they've sort of let themselves down a bit is in the accessories. Even my $10 M6 Sports set comes with a zip-up carry case. The M6 Pro set, a slightly bigger one. The Shure one, a very nice one. The Audio Technica comes with a drawstring bag. I suppose, you know, that's the price you pay for getting dual driver speakers at that same price point. And if that's the case, you know, I can live with that. They do sound really good. Audio Technica have a massive reputation for making excellent sounding earphones. They make world-renowned monitor, studio reference monitor headphones. And these are excellent. In terms of getting a full mix in your ears live, no problems at all. Alright, that's going to do it for this video. Now if you're still struggling with in-ear monitors themselves, not just the earphones, but how to get the sound to your ears, where does it come from, then make sure you check out my video on setting up in-ear monitors on a budget. I'll put a link to it in the YouTube card above and in the description box below, so check that out and check out these earphones. Hey guys, I hope this has been helpful. My name's Matt. We'll see you next time.